Hello, 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 hello. I'm Lynn Browder, and I paint with my son, Owen, who has autism. He helps me paint the backgrounds of our paintings with a hand-over-hand method, and then I paint the rest. And I tend to paint a lot of flowers. And that's what I'm painting tonight. I go through spurts and try to change it up, but most nights I just like the comfort of flowers. I used to paint a lot of roostas. There's certain words, I don't know if anybody else does that, but words bring me great joy. And rooster, for whatever reason, is a silly word to me. And so I always think it needs a lot of flair. So I was going to paint something different, and then I thought about painting a little heart of flowers. But the more that I put on my plate, well, my paper, it looks like it's on my plate, but it's paper, parchment. The more that I put, I kept adding and adding and adding, and it finally it said flowers instead of heart, which it would have been the same thing, I guess, but this is just kind of a bunch of flowers. So sometimes I try to paint like that it's at an angle or something. So I do a little bit thicker or different or something. And that's kind of what I was trying to do there. And I'm also, if anyone can guess what the next word is going to be, tired. That's it. Although Owen slept much better last night, it's a long day. He had his vision therapy today, and he did great with it, except for we were going to go early to pick out his glasses, but it was too hard on him because it was raining, and rain is one of those things that causes him great distress, and it's hard because rain. How you can't avoid rain, and it's so hard to even explain to him that there are times we just have to go out in the rain, or we are someplace and we have to get home in the rain. And this is just an emotional thing for him, because, and how could it not be if he's already upset about the rain? So thankfully the rain, we've been getting ready to leave early because of getting his glasses, but I called the facility, the place, and I told him there was no way we were going to get there early because he just wouldn't even leave the porch. We came back inside, and he kept saying he still wanted to go. And I'm always torn as to whether you just wait it out, you just say no, or what other option at that point is there. But he actually did really well. We tried again in another 20 minutes or so, and the rain had moved on, and that was such a huge relief. He was able to get in the car, and we were able to go. So, even when he's looking at the car and it's not raining, but it had rain, that is hard on him. He won't open the car door, and he goes and looks at his pants to make sure that his pants aren't getting rained on, even though he hasn't touched the door when it was raining, and to make sure that he doesn't have anything on him. I have to just breathe and, move through the moment, because I have to stay as calm as I can to keep him as calm as we can. Because, if he goes into meltdown, that just increases the chance that we aren't going to go to whatever the event is, or leave when we have the chance, or any of those moments. So it's knowing when to kind of back off from a situation or keep pushing forward. And I can tell you, it's hard and it's exhausting, because that's my baby. That is my baby. And I don't want anything to hurt him, or I don't want him to be upset over every little detail. But he has no, excuse me, no control over that situation or that moment. He can't, change how he's feeling about rain. But it's hard. I always say autism is as much about how I handle it as it is about Owen having it. And it's a journey. It's a journey that I never imagined it would be like this, because what I thought was autism, or what I thought we would experience with autism, it truly, it's more. This is more than I ever imagined. But I look at the progress that he's made, and I just am so thankful for it. And it's taught me so much about the world, about myself, about how we should treat others, what we need to do in certain situations, and how we should continue to help each other out and grow in those moments, and just keep moving forward. And I truly am learning more about the human spirit and what we all want and need out of life. So it's pretty amazing journey. Some days the mama is a little more tired than others, and today is one of those days. Just pure exhaustion from the days leading up to these emotions. Like, it's not always right in the moment that it's processing, because I'm hearing rain now, and it just, goes through a whole different set of emotions at that point. But he had a great session once we got to his therapy, and his doctor is amazing with him and for him, and what she's doing to help him. So, that's such a positive thing as well. And so every time we go, for him to be able to learn something and process, and me to learn how to help him, it's worth the journey. This is kind of looking old-fashioned-y to me. That's the technical term, old-fashioned-y. That's it, I promise. I promise. Sometimes it, like the flowers have to change as you kind of move along. And this is not anywhere like what I thought we were going to be doing tonight. But it's fine, as they say. It's fine. I just always crack up when I have my mind set on what I'm going to do, and then I look at the canvas, and this really is not anything like what I thought it was going to be. So, and sometimes as I'm going along here, it's like I definitely need more color, or something isn't mushing into where I think it should go, and I need more. This one keeps getting me. It feels rough around the edges, which is fine, but it still needs to have a little consistency. Sometimes I like to use like all the colors, and if you notice, when I paint flowers, I tend to use only one paintbrush, and so that it's just the way I like to have kind of all the colors, like how it kind of changes as it goes along. And I like the mush of it. So I'm trying to decide if it's in the right spots, or sometimes I like start off doing something, and then as I go along it needs, extra color or just a little different spot. Sometimes what I think is like the right shade or style doesn't quite suit it. So you got to go back in and kind of adjust. And sometimes it just needs that little extra flair. Because, like, it doesn't always have to have even, but it just feels sometimes like it needs a little filled in and moved around kind of thing. So, like, I feel like it needs a few random spriggy doodles. Now, see, I kind of got stuck with that one because I don't know that I like it. It almost ended up looking like a little pitchfork or something, and I probably could have figured out something here, but I feel like now I'm having to adjust. So, kind of just wanted a little bit of greenery there, but it did not feel the right way. So, and once I start doing something that looks not that heavy, then it's hard when I'm kind of adding things that make it too stark or too stand out. If you've watched any of my paintings before, you know I always say I like to watch paint dry. And this is exactly why I like to watch paint dry, because what you see now will be different than what you see later. And so I always like to see like how something kind of evolves and changes, and what it's really going to do as we go along. I think I'm about done. I want to kind of add a little so many times when I'm adding stuff, it ends up underneath or things change, and that's kind of what happened over here. So we just adapt, we change, we add. That probably isn't my best move right there, but that's okay. See, then you go into the ridiculous where I put stuff that I probably shouldn't have put, but like this is not what I wanted, but it all works. It's, you know. So we're just gonna let it be. I do O for Owen, L, and B. He's the foundation of why I do this, so that is it. And I've been making these little baubles. Paint blob jewelry is what I call it. But they're all different. There'll be keychains and necklaces and all kinds of things. And this is what the paint that I have left over from it I spread out. The weather has been playing havoc on my paint, so you can see this is, well, it might be hard to see on the screen, but this is all blobby. That's the technical term, blobby. I use a lot of technical terms. But I spread all this out so that I can make the paint blob jewelry. So that's what that is. So thank you so much for watching and being a part of our day. Toodles!